when I'm the one letting your bullshit slide. How could I hate you when I knew you had a God's girl on the side? How could I hate you if this is what I made you? How could I hate you? How could I? How could I? How could I? How could I? How could I hate you? How could I hate you if this is what I made you? How could I hate you? How could I? 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 How could I hate you? How could I? 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 How could I hate you? How could I? How could I? How could I hate you? How could I hate you when I allow you to do whatever you want to? Like be a cheese. How could I hate you when I don't wanna take care of me? Since we got these babies, how could I hate you when I should have said no to this fast love? How could I hate you? If this is what I made you, how could I hate you? How could I? 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 How could I hate you? How could I? 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 How could I hate you? How could I? 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 How could I hate you? How could I? How could I? How could I? Hate you? How could I? How could I? How could I hate you?
School is in, and yes, we're going to be talking about what really happens when we give kids everything they want. What really happens when we give kids everything they want? What happens? What happens? A lot. I've been a victim of spoiling kids. Even before I had kids, I was spoiling kids. I used to be in child care development for 10 years as a school-age teacher. I've been in every room, infant and toddler, preschool, all the whole spectrum. I started off as a floater coming from the office. I was working at a daycare that didn't have a lot of teachers. So my first day, I worked a 16-hour shift. I went in there 8 o'clock in the morning. I was done with the office by 2 and had to come back in at 4:30 because all the second shift teachers quit. So I had to go take some childcare classes. Make a long story short, I was one of the best top teachers in childcare at that time on the register list. And so One of the things I had a problem with was just seeing kids cry, being lonely, being hungry, needed somebody to talk to. And I just had a heartfelt for little kids, you know what I'm saying? Because I know how I was as a kid. I pretty much didn't need for nothing. I had moments where I wanted to be alone, and I'm the oldest of 9, so I was by myself for 7 years. So I knew how it felt not to have nobody to play with and different things like that. But boy, it's trouble when you really give kids everything they want. And live in the chat room, we got Teresa Taylor, the Phoenix in the building. Let's welcome her to the show, y'all. Well, hello, Queen, just flying through. I'm glad you flew in here on the Boss Ladies Live radio show. Yeah, Queen, so tonight we're talking about treating kids like adults, and we're going to read our EDU, what really happens when we give kids everything they want. And we are coming from weare.that family.com/2014/what-really-happens-when-we-give-kids-everything-they-want/ and it says January 18th, 2014 is still good. So here we go. I want it. Why? Because everyone else has it, or does it, or wears it. It's a conversation we've had countless times in our house. It doesn't matter what it's about, the newest technology, the latest fad, the most popular shoes. It's treacherous ground to add it to our want list so we can be like everyone else. These 5 dangerous words are turning homes upside down. When we give our children everything they want because everyone else has it, it speeds up their childhood. We have 6-year-olds addicted to technology, carrying around their own iPads and iPhones without limitations. Even 11-year-old sons playing bloody battles of Assassin's Creed over the internet with strangers instead of playing ball outside. And 13-year-old daughters shopping at Victoria's Secret, wearing angel wings across their booms, looking far older than they are. Sure is fast tales. Fast tales. But worse than losing a generation of children, this choice breeds a nasty virus. Because maybe if we keep giving them everything they want, they might just drive a new car intoxicated and kill 4 people and be diagnosed with influenza. The psychologist testifying for the 16-year-old boy who just did that defined influenza as this: children who have a sense of entitlement, are irresponsible, and make excuses for poor behavior because parents have no set proper boundaries. And when you write a little post about the warning signs of entitlement and it's shared nearly 800,000 times, perhaps we're all a little scared of our kids catching the same bug. I am an RN working on a psych unit, and I see every day the effects of entitlement. I see adults in their 20s and 30s who always had everything they ever wanted given to them while growing up, and now they just don't get it. They are unemployed, either living with parents or with one friend or relative after another, or on the street. Having been given everything they ever wanted without working for it while growing up, they don't feel that they should work for anything now. They were raised to think they could do no wrong, but instead of growing up to have high self-esteem, they have grown up unable to function. They cannot take disappointment of any kind. So we have a generation of kids that don't want to work and can't function as adults because they have no coping skills of any kind to deal with life. They become depressed and often turn to drugs and or alcohol to feel better. Then they end up on our unit, depressed, suicidal, and addicted. A comment on this post. Why are we saying yes to our children too early, too soon, and pulling in the boundaries? I'm not sure, but I think it's here. Number 1, we don't understand the future implications of giving them everything they want right now. 2, we want them to have the life we didn't. 3, we are afraid to tell our children no because we know there will be backlash, or because we think they will feel loved if we say yes. 4, We might want them to fit in with their peers because it's hard to be different. 5, we feel it's often easier just to give in. 6, we struggle with a bit of influenza ourselves. This excellent article shares the symptoms of this nasty virus. To conquer the influenza virus, though, one must first recognize it within himself and ask why and from where it comes. Ask yourself the following questions. You might recognize some of those from what I said in the beginning. I felt like those were some good questions to ask. Do you frequently buy things you do not really need? When shopping, are you unable to control how much you spend? Do you envy the lifestyles of the rich and famous? Do you feel bad when your neighbors have things you do not? Do you measure yourself by what others have? Do you ever use shopping as a means of escape? Do you use your possessions to impress others? Do you compare your possessions with what your peers have? If so, do you experience a feeling of superiority that yours are better? Do you speak often about the things you want? Do you find yourself complaining about the things you want but cannot afford? Do you think of spending your money more often than saving it? That's a good question. Do you often think your life would be more complete if you had more money and possessions? Quote, Jesus, speaking to the people, he went on, take care. Protect yourself against the least bit of greed. Life is not defined by what you have, even when you have a lot. Luke 12:15. So what's the cure? Maybe it starts with the little word, no. No. We aren't going to buy, do that just because others are. It's okay to want things, but there's a big difference in getting something because you love it and getting it because you want to be loved. Maybe it starts with deciding why you do what you do. Don't let the culture lead your family, because it certainly will. I heard this week the most popular word among teens in 2013, which is 2018 now, was twerking. Do we really want society guiding our children? Maybe it starts with reality. No, not everyone does get blank, fill in the blank. We discovered other people who don't have fill in the blank, but we had to look for them and pray them into our lives. The world will tell you and your kids, you're completely alone, but that's a lie. There are other families swimming upstream against our society and affluenza. Maybe it starts with a dab of old-fashioned failure. I love what this teacher said below. Some parents don't wish their kids to fail. I admit I want my children to. I want them to fail so they can learn how to get back up. I want them to not get every gift they want on their Christmas list so they can appreciate what they have and work for what they don't. Lastly, I hope all of them get at least 1 or 2 teachers they hate. That way, they will learn that in the real world, they will have to work with people and bosses they may not like. A teacher who left a comment on this post. Maybe it starts with exposing them to how the majority of the world lives. Affluenza is a first world problem. Hunger is a real world problem. Give them an opportunity to serve others. Hebrews 13:5. Keep your life free from the love of money and be content with what you have. For he has said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. I really don't think our kids want the latest technology or the hottest name brand as much as they want something else. Oh, they think they do. And they will beg and plead and drive us crazy for it. But deep down, they are hungry for something deeper that satisfies and lasts a lot longer than just stuff. Giving them firm boundaries, love, and perspective is exactly what we can offer them. You may not agree, but if you like this article, go to wearethatfamily.com, and that is our EDU for our lives. So when